We are live on the OxFit podcast. Good morning, OxFit Nation. Happy Thursday. Man, these weeks are flying. It's February the 26th. I hope you're having a great week. It's warming up again, right? So we can stop complaining. It's getting nice. I'm starting to think I got allergies and maybe the flu, maybe a cold at the same time. So I don't know. Just trying to get this stuff out of my sinuses. What do you guys use? What do you guys use to get stuff out of your sinuses? Obviously, I want a sauna. I'm gonna let you know my journey to get a sauna over the next. It's hard to get a sauna in Atlanta in the middle of summer, right? So now, probably not gonna get one until like the end of the year. I bet. Be nice to get it for Christmas, wouldn't it? So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll aim to get a. But that's not going to help me now with my allergies. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do around this time of year? Never used to get allergies. I guess it's something you can get as you get older, huh? I didn't even know. I thought you either got them or you didn't. In England, we call it hay fever. You guys ever heard of it being called a hay fever before? I don't know why. I wonder why. Let me Google why we call it hay fever and you guys call it allergies. Hay fever. Hay fever. An immune overreaction to airborne allergens like pollen, dust, mites, causing symptoms, sneezing, blah, blah, blah. The itchy eyes is always the worst one, isn't it? And you like scratch your eye accidentally and then you just can't stop rubbing it. That's the worst part of it. But yeah, hay fever. Have you ever heard of that term? Is that just a British term? Hay fever. It's not really a fever, is it? So, but yeah, I think hopefully it's just the end of a cold, but I think it is allergies. So I'm going to attack them a little bit more. I think I've got some allergy medicine as well. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you use. I don't I don't know how to use what you just said. Do I eat it? Do I lick it? Do I sniff it? I don't even want to say what I was about to say. Oil of oregano. Oregano, as you'd say in America. What sounds better, oregano or oregano? I think it's supposed to be said oregano because it's definitely an Italian herb. Oregano. Oregano. But yeah, what are you doing for your allergies? How are you treated? Do you get allergies? Which pollen do you get? Is it even allergy season? If it's not allergy season, then I guess it's just a cold. Let's have a look. Allergy season in Georgia. It's going to say all fucking year, isn't it? Oh. Yeah. Excuse me. Allergy season starts as early as late January or February, lasts through late fall. So that's basically from January, late fall is that November. So from January to November, it's allergy season. So right now it's tree pollen. So I guess I'm the most allergic to the tree pollen. And then April, grass pollen. August is ragweed. I like that one. And then year round, mold. Don't get Kiki started on mold. Put a drop of each in your ears. In my ears. It's in my nose. Put a drop of each in my ears. All right. Let's update where we're at on Atomic Habits because it's time to put it into practice now. February 26th, coming up on March, and I'm really excited to put it all into practice. So here are my new identities for 2026. The CEO of OxFit, a performance coach, fitness, business, all that good stuff. Beach Brawl champion for the 40 plus division. And then a husband, father, son, and brother. And what systems do I need to put in place for that? So I have a whole day planned out. I have a morning routine, and then I have like an afternoon routine and an evening routine with a bunch of new habits. And my next goal today is going to be to really make a commitment towards them and then just see how this new system works, right? I think it's a good system. Um, some of the things are a little uncomfortable, a little scary, but it's been fun to work through it. If you need someone to work through that stuff with you, I would really enjoy doing it again. So grab the Atomic Habits workbook. Looks like this. Big old book. And then it has sections in there. I've been taking notes on my iPad just because I don't know how you feel about this, but I like how clean the book is. And like I don't want to fill in all this stuff. I don't know. I have a weird some other books I don't mind writing in, but for some reason the workbook I've kind of kept it clean because the gaps anyway don't really fit the amount of stuff you want to write in them, do they? So, but I'm really excited. Usually I'd just be going by now and not really focusing on where I want to go. It'd just be like, yeah, I'm working hard. It's the end of February. It's been 60 days and I've done 60 things. Whether them 60 things apply to where I want to go or not, who knows? But I'll have done a lot of shit, right? And you might be like that. So, like, if you need a coach like me to sit down and actually figure out if these habits are working for you and if they're going to take you to the right place in the next 6, 8, 12 months, right? Because if you're busy, you've got a full-time job, you've got kids and stuff, you can't just be working hard. You have to know what you're doing with your time. You have to know where you're putting it. You have to know that you're going to get the right reward back from all that time and energy, right? And I just don't think we do that enough because we used to having time. In our teens, we have tons of time. We just don't realize it. In our 20s, we think we're busy, but we've still got tons of time. And then eventually you've got full-time job and you've got kids and you've got a partner and you've got, you know what I mean? And you can't cram all your stuff into Saturdays or just on Sunday you're going to get it all done. So, what are the habits and what are the identities that you want to become in 2026? I like the identity of it all because that means like rather than it just be a goal that you want to achieve, it's actually an identity. You've got to become that person and you've got to take on all the habits and responsibilities and roles of that person, which I think is really cool. Now, we are coming up on March, okay? So for most people, that means they're in a rhythm and a routine, or they quit a long time ago on the things they said they were going to do for 2026. Rarely are people in between. But if you're one of the people that are in between, this is going to be a great episode for you because what I want to tie everything back to is I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of men on their nutrition. Well, I've worked with men and women, but my big focus is working with the men. That's where I'm the most effective, right? My wife is very effective with the moms. Caitlin and Savannah are very effective with working with women and other athletes, right? So I have a big focus on helping men, dads, business owners. And over 12 years of doing that, I've seen a lot of fancy programs and a lot of fads come and go, and a lot of things that everybody wants the next wonder thing to come and sweep them off their feet and make everything easy. But the more we do that, the more we get into that, the more we see that stuff, the simple stuff is the stuff that is the most life changing, right? And when I say simple, that doesn't mean easy. It actually is some of the hardest things you can do. The really easy stuff is give me a wonder supplement or give me an injection or give me, some kind of shortcut. Like that's the easy stuff. The simple stuff is actually the most complicated, but that doesn't mean it's no less simple and you could implement it right away and completely change your life. So that's what I want to talk about today. So, if you want to change your life, you've got to stop looking for motivation. You've got to stop looking for a shortcut. You've got to stop looking for a wonder drug. You've just got to do these three habits that I'm going to tell you about today that will radically change your body, they'll change your energy, and they'll completely shift and change your mindset. Whenever people come into OxFit, whenever people come and talk to me, they're really excited about the fitness side of things. They've got a goal and they want to get fitter, stronger, and they're ready to go and they've got all this motivation and they want to use it. They want to come and work out every day. And that's really exciting. But that's not the major thing that's going to change their life. The biggest thing, the key, the number one habit is they've got to change the way that they eat. And you've just got to stop eating processed foods, processed carbohydrates. As simple as that. And you're going to say, oh, I got all this motivation. I want to use it. I want to work out twice a day. I want to do all this really cool stuff. Yes. But the biggest impact that we can have on your life in the next 30, 60, 6 months is if you stop eating bread, chips, sugar, going through the drive through, you stop eating fast food, and you stop eating anything with a label for 30 days, you will change your life. You'll stop spiking your insulin all day. You'll stabilize your energy. Your cravings will stop, and your body will start moving things around. It'll stop moving all your fat stores. You'll completely change your life. All I want you to do is eat real food, protein, veggies, fruit, quality fats, and you don't need no fancy diet. You don't have to Google anything. You don't need a spreadsheet. You don't need like a whole list of foods you can and you can't eat. I will just say, does it have a label on it? Is it real food? If it's real food, eat as much of that as you want. And what you won't realize is that over the past few years, you've replaced real food with packaged crap. And all I want you to do is to stop eating that. Yeah, I would love to take it a step further and maybe we go super clean. Maybe we follow a paleo diet. Maybe we follow a Whole 30 diet. Maybe we go carnivore because that's the one I've seen men respond to the fastest in the first 30 days. But just real food is good enough for me. Just no label. Just stay on the outside of the store and you will change your life. Tell me about all these complicated workouts. What if I work out twice a day? What if I go running in the morning, do yoga in the middle of the day, and then lift weights in the afternoon? That's all fantastic, but that's probably not going to stick, right? Especially if you haven't been doing anything for the last 6 months. How about your major habit, the thing that you care about the most is that you just stop eating rubbish and you just start eating real food for 30 days. Can you do that? Can you stop eating sugar for 30 days? Can you stop eating something with a label for 30 days? Super simple, but definitely not easy, especially in 2026. One of the hardest things you can do. My favorite simple way to think about this comes from the CrossFit description of how to eat. And it's how to eat in 100 words. And I will put a link to that so you can see that. But it's just so simple. Just eat real food. That's habit number one. You will change your whole life with that habit. Now, I own a gym, so I know that we will get you in the best shape of your life if you just show up 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week. But I just want you to start with 3 times a week. And if you're a man, I want you to lift weights 3 times a week. I would love you to come to OxFit. Why would I love you to come to OxFit? Because we've streamlined the whole process for you. We've taken out some of the complex movements that take years and years to learn, and we've stripped it back to the basics that are still fun and still the most effective. So we're deadlifting like we've always deadlifted. We're back squatting like we've always back squatted. We're bench pressing. We're shoulder pressing. We're power cleaning. Super simple movements that you do every week that compound over months, over weeks, months, and years to make you into an absolute beast. Strong, fit, and ripped. We have elements of bodybuilding that we know are effective because they've been trained for years. We have elements of functional fitness. We're always burping, we're always push-upping, we're always pull-upping. All these movements that have just been proven to give you results. And we wrap that all in high intensity training. So your lungs, your heart, all your muscles get hit over the course of a week. You can go to a regular gym and do back and biceps, chest and triceps, legs one day, shoulders and arms. That is effective. That will work. It's just going to these gyms, you're stuck in a place where everybody's got a video camera set up. Somebody sat texting for 20 minutes, so you're waiting for a bench. You have to go there and you have to decide what you want to do today. You come to us, it's already written out. We know we're going to get you strong, fit, and ripped because we've been doing it for 10 years. We've been getting people strong, fit, and ripped every 3 months for the last 10 years. You don't have to think about it. You come in and you will move the whole time. And over the course of the week, you're going to hit every single part of your body and you're going to get stronger. You can go and buy a weight vest and walk around the park. To get the effects of that, you probably have to walk for 6 hours a day. And you probably, to really get the benefit, have to put on a backpack and fill it full of 60, 70 pounds worth of dumbbells. That's not the most effective way to do it, right? Yoga is fantastic as a supplement to your strength training because what about your lungs? What about your heart? What about all the other aspects of your body? Does yoga help you move well? Of course. Is it intense? Kind of. You get a little sweat, but what about your lungs? What about your heart? We hit everything over the course of a week to get your heart healthy, your lungs healthy, and every part of your body. Pressing, squatting, deadlifting. You're just a more effective human, right? So you can't not lift weights. I can't believe how many people don't train. Savannah said in one of her previous podcasts, you're going to be, if you don't do anything, you're going to be 40% worse off in the next 10 to 20 years. You can't afford to do that. Muscle changes your metabolism. Muscle changes your confidence. Muscle changes how you show up in every room you walk into. You just feel better. You're a stronger person. You don't need 2 hours a day. You just need, come to OxFit. It's about 45 minutes to an hour, and we will get you in the best shape of your life. Consistency beats hours and hours and hours in the gym. So stop eating processed food. Stop eating sugar. Train 3 times a week minimum. Lift them weights. Getting your heart rate up. I recommend high intensity interval training. Number 3, and this is the last one, and it's going to sound soft. You're going to be like, yeah, I can not eat sugar. I can train and lift weights 3 times a week. Well, number 3, the one that I've seen most change people's lives, and it sounds soft, is daily gratitude. Now, I would say if you can, that should be daily meditation, right? I can't meditate. I've tried every year to get into a meditation routine and it's not happened. But what has happened is daily gratitude. And every day I just write down 3 things that I'm grateful for before I get into my day, before I get into my email, before I get on social media, before I watch the news. I write down the 3 things that I'm grateful for. Because we live in a world where you're constantly worried about what you don't have. And there's a scarcity mentality that you got to go and get what's yours, and people are out to take what's yours. And it it's getting worse and worse, right? If you just live online, then you are not in control of how you feel. You're just being force fed how you should feel. So if you can write down every day what you're grateful for, just 3 things. Shit, start with one thing that you're grateful for every day and just write it down. You've started your day off in a position that 99.9% of people don't start their day off. They reach for their phone, and social media just tells you how to think today. You put on the news and you're told what to be angry about today. But if you can just write down 3 things every morning, you'll start recognizing what you do have and you'll build resilience. Write them down. It's a strong body and a strong mind is what we're going for. Hopefully, from this, you started to understand that simple isn't easy, but that's where you need to start with your habits. Stop overcomplicating your life. Eat real food. Train 3 times a week. Practice daily gratitude. Do that for 6 months and you won't recognize yourself. If this helped, comment, like, and subscribe. The last thing is, you don't have to do this on your own. It's almost impossible to do it on your own. I do it with a group of other men, a group of other athletes that want a better life. If that's you, email me, ant@ox.fit, and let's get started. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of men, and I know the pitfalls of where this stuff can go wrong. And while it does seem simple, it is not easy. And it's nice to have an expert and somebody on your team to hold you accountable. And that's what I do best. So hit me up, ant@ox.fit. Let's work together. Don't let this year pass you by, and you could have just changed these 3 things and had an amazing 2026. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. I will see you soon.